you guys, it's Megan, and today I'm going to bring you my Meg's Money Musings for March. What about that alliteration? 4 M words in a row. Can we just get a round of applause for that? Oh my god. So I have thoughts on how I did in March in terms of my spending, my savings, all the things related to money, and definitely in March was more of like a shopping accumulation of stuff more than the previous 2 months of this year were. So I'm not super happy about that. I'm not super happy that April has started off in a similar way, but I will say that in March and also in April, 2 of my biggest times of shopping were social events. So in March, my mom, sister, and I went to King of Prussia Mall, and it was just such a fun day. Do you ever feel like when you go shopping or something and it's like an excursion, it's a destination to go shopping, your plan is to shop, and you just kind of feel carefree? And maybe that's just me as a shopaholic, but I just feel like sometimes when I go shopping, all my cares disappear. And I felt like that in some sense during both of those shopping instances. But I also still have this rationality that I didn't used to have in the past, where I would just buy anything that I saw that was on sale and I was like, it's 50% off, I'm gonna buy it. I'm not like that anymore, which I'm happy about, but then at the same time I still shop more than I probably should, or more than I would like to in some sense. I told you guys in the past few months, I realized I had an epiphany that I really do like stuff, and I like things, and I like touching things and having things, and I don't know, I don't think that it's wrong to be that way, but it's something that I want to control, and it's not something that I want to let get out of hand more than it already is. So it's always this balance between I do really enjoy having things and finding things, and the experience of shopping is part of what I love so much about it, and finding those little treasures. When my mom and I and my sister went to Sephora in King of Prussia, that Sephora is a wonderland. It has every brand, every line of makeup and skincare, and you can swatch everything and see everything, which I don't go out shopping very much. I used to make it a multi-time weekly thing to go shopping, to go to Marshall's, to go to Ulta, to go to any place. Target was such a weakness for me, and I'm very proud to say I rarely go to Target anymore, and that could just be it hasn't happened. Usually I would have to pick up a thing or two here and there, but I really haven't had to go run an errand to Target, so I've not had a reason to go. But in the past I would make up a reason and just want to go and spend time. If I had time between doing things, I'd be oh, I'll go to Target. Or if I got out of work early, oh, I'll go to Target. And now it's I got out of work early, I'm gonna go home and get in my PJs and watch something on Hulu or Netflix or something. It's a different mindset that I've had as I've gotten older, and as I've realized I do have weaknesses when it comes to certain stores that are all about impulse buying. And the industry that I'm in, we work with retailers, and it's so interesting to be on the back end of it, and to be you want consumers to impulsively buy your thing, and companies make it so enticing for you to want to buy it impulsively. And as someone that falls for that, I think it's helped me to resist it more by knowing more about it, and knowing that the stuff that they're presenting so beautifully, it's probably not because it's that great. It's just because they want your eye to be caught by it, and they want you to pick it up because there's a little coupon attached to it, or because it's on sale on the Target Cartwheel app. And there's all these ways that they convince you to buy stuff, and it works. It really, really works. But if you're more aware of it, and if you have like a struggle with saying no, or like just have like a shopping problem, being aware of it and knowing like it's not the end of the world to not get it, I think that will help you a lot. And it's helped me a lot. Like in the past, I would be so caught up in like limited edition stuff, or like I would use my YouTube channel as an excuse of like, I need to try all these different things to try them out for my YouTube channel. But that's not why you guys watch me. Like, I'm not a review channel. And this is like deja vu. I've definitely talked about this before in these types of videos. And I feel like when you are more of a shopaholic, or if you just have a tendency to shop or want things, you find an excuse that will allow yourself to buy it. And now what I'm trying to do is not allow myself to think that way and to just resist. Like, I don't want to waste my time going to Target, just like meandering. Like, sometimes that honestly is therapeutic, and sometimes I just need to go somewhere and like walk around, and sometimes that's what the doctor calls for. But more often than not, I feel much better and like get reinvigorated or something, or just feel better by coming home, like having a coffee or eating a snack or something, relaxing, like maybe take a shower. Like, there's all these different things that I know if I'm not like feeling my best, try these things before like online shopping or doing things that I used to lean on as a crutch of like, oh, I feel like sad, or I feel bored, or I feel lonely, or I want to go do something. Like, I would always go spend money. Like, no matter where I was, like if I was on my phone, I would online shop. And I have been noticing a few times in the past few weeks, like I've been scrolling on Poshmark was like the latest one that I've been like getting back into, and I bought a purse on Poshmark because when I visited Chloe, she had one of the like most perfect purses I've ever seen, and we like stocked it down, and I found like what style it is. It's like a discontinued Michael Kors bag, and I found it on Poshmark for a great deal, so I got it. Did I need it? No, but I know I'll use it a lot, so I was like, okay, like I made excuses. And am I mad that I got it? No, because I love it. So there's always a time and a place that you will buy things, but just making sure that what you're buying makes sense and that you'll use it, or that it's so cheap that even if you use it like a few times, you're not like losing much money because you probably got your money's worth. It's all about perspective, as is everything that happens in our lives. Everything is about perspective. So if you have the right perspective, you have to make the right choice for yourself with the knowledge that you have. And that's all you can really like count on, is what you know and what you feel. And in some senses, I'm proud of myself not going to Target very much, but I'm not so proud of going to King of Prussia and spending a few $100s in the course of a few hours. But like this shirt I got there, I got some stuff at Sephora, I got some stuff at NYX, and a lot of the stuff I got I've used consistently. Some of the stuff I have not used barely at all. So it's definitely like, like there's always stuff that you'll waste your money on. So I'm trying to limit what I waste my money on, I guess, and I don't know. I just enjoy shopping. It sucks, but it also is fun. So I can't explain it away. It just is what it is. I really love to shop, but I try not to do it as much as I used to. So that is kind of my shopping thing this month, and it kind of all started by spending 2,000 points at Ulta. So that was free, like I didn't pay for that, but I think it like set like off this snowball effect of like wanting stuff. And I noticed like even when I get stuff for free, like from Octoly, from brands, if I get stuff at all, no matter how it's acquired, I always want more. But if I don't get anything at all, usually like I don't think about it as much, because if I get a thing here and a thing there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want more things. But if I don't get things for a while, then I don't want more things. Like, it's so crazy how like the psychology is, and maybe I need to be hypnotized and have them fix me. Like, I have no idea, but it's just a really interesting thing that I've noticed, that if I get things for free or not, I still want like more stuff, even though like, shouldn't the stuff I just got like satiate that want for stuff? But having a little bit of stuff makes me want more stuff. Very interesting, and I feel like maybe a lot of people deal with that, maybe a lot of people don't, I'm not sure, but I definitely noticed that about myself, which I find interesting. But I have been really, really proud of my savings, and I've told you guys in the past for like this whole year, and starting at the end of last year, I have direct deposit straight to my savings accounts at Barclays, and I have different savings accounts for all my different goals. And so I have some things that are like things that I don't really spend, like I don't take the money out of, like my emergency fund and my moving out fund. I hit a really big goal in my moving out fund, and it's not, I don't know, I feel like I don't like to follow other people that share their numbers, because it always makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. And that's something that I feel like that in a lot of realms of my life. Like, I don't like to know what other people make, or what other people, like the money about it, I don't like knowing, because I definitely compare, and then I feel like I'm not making enough money, I'm not saving enough money, when I am making a good amount of money, like for my age and for the place that I live in, and I'm saving a lot of what I make. And so I just have to like get out of that mindset of like comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's something I live by, but it's hard to always practice that and to not compare, because it's so easy to do so. But I'm saving a lot of my money, and whether it's going into my 401k, which I save 10% of every paycheck goes towards my 401k, and it's just incredible to know that I am saving that for my future, and I know that by doing so I have my own back, and that I'll be able to financially be able to protect myself if something happens, or like whatever. Like, just knowing that I have that safety net and a like really good cushion to fall back on when I'm ready to retire, like it's really, really powerful to do that for yourself. And I think especially as women, you need to do that for yourself. Like, no one, and I live by this, no one else has your back other than yourself. Like, people will love you and care for you, and you will have people in your life, but no one else can fully take care of you other than yourself. And you always have to put yourself first. So saving money, no matter how minimal the amount is, saving anything is better than saving nothing. And I'm proud of how much that I'm able to save, no matter if it's way less than other people are able to. Like, I don't know their lives or their finances. Like, I just know what I'm able to do, and I'm doing a lot more than I used to, and I know that I can save more. And I think that's where that like insecurity comes in, is like, I know if I didn't go on these little shopping sprees, I could be saving more. But like I said, some of these shopping occasions are like social things, and I don't do a whole lot of stuff lately. Like, I don't do a whole lot of stuff with my friends. And so when I do go out, whether it's shopping or whether it's eating or whatever, like, I'm not spending my money in a lot of other places. So right now, I'm more so spending my money on myself, and I feel like I should be putting aside money for other things, and like things with others, and maybe I shouldn't be spending as much money at Sephora or whatever. And I'm not even spending that much money there. So that's why I'm like, okay, if I'm staying under my budget, that's good, but I know that I could be saving more. So it's like all this like internal battle, and definitely like some insecurity there of like, am I doing enough? Like, I could be doing more. Could I be doing more? I don't know. And it's like all these things that just make me feel like so unsure. And so that's, I don't know. I feel like whenever I'm like sort of unsure or insecure about something, like I lean back into like shopping, which is what I know and what I understand. And I don't know, it's just really interesting. Obviously, lots of psychology and like emotional baggage, I think, with money in my mind and in my heart, and it's just like a lot of stuff going on. So I feel like I need to, I always, after these videos, I always feel like, oh my god, I need to unpack this like even more like internally, and these videos always just give me so much insight about myself. So they at least help me. I hope they help you guys as well. But another thing that I was really proud of, other than hitting that like big moving out goal, or like amount of money, was that I paid off my Jamaica trip and my Vegas trip that I have coming up. So the payments weren't due yet and they're coming up soon. So I was able to have all that money ready to go to pay them off, and that always feels really good, knowing that when I go on vacation, it's like I can just enjoy it. Like I don't have to worry about the financial burden of it because I've already paid it off. And that makes me feel really, really, really proud, because the last time I went to Vegas, I wasn't prepared like that, and I did have to pay after the fact, and it was really stressful and really scary, and like, why did I spend so much money and all these things? But in my like direct deposit into my savings, I put money towards vacation every single week or every single paycheck, and so I saved up the money that I needed before the payment was due, and then I just paid it all, and that felt amazing. So I feel like I sometimes really focus on the things that I haven't done very well and don't really like pat myself on the back for those types of things that are really major and that I have improved on so greatly in such a short amount of time. Like the last time I went to Vegas was like a year and a half ago, so it'll be about 2 years by the time I go on that trip, and to improve that much in that amount of time, I think is really like good. And obviously it comes with getting older as well, but also through experience and just knowing like that feeling of knowing like kind of regretting spending money on doing different things when I went on vacation. It was just like such a downer. Like I loved that trip and I loved everything I got to do, but then when the like payments are like looming over you and you don't like have the money easily to pay it off, like that is really scary, and it takes away the fun of the trip that you already went on. So just knowing that it's all paid and I can go and have a great time on these vacations just makes me feel so like privileged and wonderful and proud of myself for saving up for those things that I really want to do and know that I'll enjoy doing. So I would love to end on that high note. I think that reminding yourself of all the good that you do is so important, and I'm someone that's always like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not, like, those type of like negative thoughts run through my mind a lot. And whether I'm telling myself like you're doing a good job, or like your parents or your boss or your friends or your coworkers, whenever like someone like that tells me like you're doing a really great job, or like that was really awesome what you did, or whatever, like hearing those little things just is so important. So I think that it's really extra important to talk to yourself positively, and I don't think any of us talk to ourselves positively 100% of the time. And I know especially with money, it's just like so like hard sometimes, and it's so like, it's not just the money, it's like all the emotion and all of the decisions that go along with it that just can weigh so heavily on you. And so if you're doing anything with saving or paying off your debt or whatever your financial story is, if you're doing anything, that is amazing, and you're probably ahead of a lot of other people. Like, I was listening to the Forever 35 podcast. They interviewed Joanna Goddard from Cup of Joe, which I have read Cup of Joe for pretty much my entire adult life, and first of all, it was so cool to hear Joanna's voice. I've never heard her voice before, and Dory asked Joanna, like, what are your advice on like raising kind-hearted children and boys specifically, and because she's having a son. And Joanna was like, well, you're already ahead of the curve by asking that question and caring enough to think about that. And so I feel like those of us who are thinking about saving and money and decisions about what you spend your money on, I think that's already like ahead of the curve, at least from what I've seen with like the numbers that the news tries to tell you to scare you about all the debt and whatever. But yeah, it's a lot. Everyone struggles with it, I think. I think some people are really good at looking like they have everything under control, but it's not always that way. So, like I said before, comparison is the thief of joy, and that's something I really want to remind myself. I know that you guys are working hard just like I am to do your best at whatever you're trying to do with your money and whatever your goals are. So I would just like all of us to appreciate what we have done for ourselves and for our families if you're taking care of more than just yourself. And I think we're all on the right path, which is really what matters. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These videos literally are like therapy to me to just talk all this stuff out. So I appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you're all having an awesome day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.